Good morning everyone. On the whiteboard right now you can already see some of the preparations I made for today's video. Some of you asked me to discuss some of the previous homework which I hadn't done before, so that's why I'm doing it now. I'm not going to discuss all of the exercises in this video. I'll discuss 29, 30 and 32. In exercise 29 you were given a lot of temperatures and you had to draw a line diagram for them, a line graph. And to do so I already made the axis for you guys. They told you to use 2 degrees per block on the y-axis, and over here I used 2 as well. Otherwise it would become a really long x-axis and you usually want to avoid that. So let's start. And I have the numbers over here as well. The first one was -8, which means on day 1 the temperature was -8. Same goes for day 2. So every half a block is basically 1 day. Keep that in mind. Day 3 was -10, then -7, -2, -4, -5, then -5 again, -2, -1, 6, so that's basically the biggest and only positive number over here, -4 here, -7, -6, -5, -3, -6, -6 again, -11, and -8. And notice that everything fits just in here. Now we're going to connect all of these dots, which might take some time, since I'm not the fastest drawer, you probably know. If this takes too long, just skip to the part where I finish this and let me talk to myself. Because drawing all of this actually takes longer than I expected beforehand. Maybe I was overconfident again. But that should not be a surprise to most of you, I think. Halfway there. Which means if someone enters the classroom right now, I'm going to probably punch them, because then I will have to restart the video. I just heard people on the hallway, so I'm somewhat anxious right now that that happens. Right, this is the easy part. Finish it up. I think it looks somewhat nice, like something you might see at the South Pole. Then this was A. In question B, you had to answer the question in how many of these days was the, let's check it, what percentage of days was below 0. So there's only one temperature which is above 0, which means there are 20 out of 21 temperatures which are below 0. So you're using the formula part divided by the total, so 20 over 21 times 100%, which is 95.2% if you round it correctly. And I know that Luke will probably check all of these calculations because he doesn't trust me, but don't worry Luke, this is correct. Even though you are probably saying no right now. In question C, Fred thinks that it was never warmer than 6 degrees. Keep in mind, in the exercise I tell you that these are minimal, this is the minimum temperature on the day. So for example, on this day the minimum temperature was 6 degrees, which means that at some point of the day it's probably warmer than the minimum, so we should not agree what he says. It's about the minimum. So that's exercise 29. Exercise 30, you have to think about it. And the exercise told you, the editor of this magazine said the number of subscriptions was four times as high in 2007. Sorry, let's do that again. Was 4 times as high in 2010 than in 2007, and it was not true. Why is it not true? Well, if you look closely over here, they're using a tear line, which means they're not using a big part of the axis, which is allowed. That's not a problem, but you can say you can't have that conclusion, because in 2007 you had 40,000 subscriptions. You can see that. And in 2010 there were 55,000 subscriptions. Well, obviously 40,000 times 4 is 160,000, which is definitely not 55,000. So that's why he was incorrect. Then the last question that I wanted to discuss is 32, so I need to scroll down to 32 right now. And in exercise 32, you have, talking is really difficult today apparently. Starting with A. Let's check if you can actually read this, because I do not write over there. You should be able to read it. More herbal tea than mixed tea was drunk. What percentage more is this? So first, we're going to compare these two things, mixed tea and herbal tea. The difference between these two, 2,500 minus 2,000, is 500. So that's the difference. But we have to compare that difference to either mixed tea or herbal tea. Some mnemonic you can use to do this is basically to look out for the word then. You are comparing it to, let's see, in this case, then mixed tea. So you are comparing it to mixed tea. So you are comparing it to 500 over 2,000, because this is the number for mixed tea, times 100. Which means it's 25% more. So 25% more. If it was compared to herbal tea, then this number would be 2,500, obviously. The next one, B, less herbal tea than black tea was drunk. What percentage less? So now we are comparing it to black tea. So first we're going to try and calculate the difference. The difference between these two is 7,000 minus 2,500, which is 4,500. And then we're going to compare that number to black tea, because the question says less than black tea. It's 100 again. And what was that again? 64.3%. So 64.3%. C, we're nearly there. What percentage of the total tea consumption was black tea? So then we have to add up all of these things. So 7,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,000. This is 10,000 in total, plus 2,500. So in total we have this many times 1,000 kilograms of tea. And then we're going to use part divided by the total again. The part of black tea is 7,000 over 12,500 times 100, which is, I did this beforehand, 56.0 D, the last one, which was a hard one. The question was 23% of herbal tea was rooibos tea. How many grams of rooibos tea was on average used per person in the Netherlands? Assume that there were 16.6 million people. So first we want to calculate how many kilograms of rooibos tea was consumed. So 23% of 2500, 23%, we can convert that to another decimal number. So 23% is 0.23 times 2,500. That is 575. But keep in mind, that's not the amount of kilograms because we have to multiply it with 1,000. So we are multiplying it with 1,000. But this is the amount of kilograms. In the question they are asking something about the amount of grams. Let's check once more. You should be able to read this. If you have this many kilograms, we have to multiply this number with 1,000 again to get the amount of just grams. So this is 5,000. So basically you're adding another 3 zeros. So everyone in the Netherlands together consumed this amount of rooibos tea. We assume that there are 16.6 million people, so we have to divide this number by 16.6. And then we get 575,000,000 divided by 16,600,000, and then you find that is about 34 points, what was it again? 6 and then a whole lot of numbers, so 35 grams on average. And if you have any more questions, just let me know.